of the Day is next. From WBTV, Charlotte, this is Top of the Day.
What happens when cable TV's Nickelodeon takes over a local school? Find out next on Top of the Day.
It's a rainy Thursday, March 29th. Glad you're staying inside with us. I'm C.J. Underwood.
And I'm Barbara McKay. Good morning. You should see the excitement at Selwyn School today. You will, as a matter of fact. We're going there live with Lynn Bradley Love throughout the show and let you see what happens when the Children's Network broadcast from Selwyn nationally today.
And you're going to see some interesting pictures here on the show today. Concerns Barbara and me. It's all for a good cause,
Interesting,
though.
Yeah.
we are some examples of what can happen to you on Sunday for a good cause.
Fun.
Yeah. And let's get to Lori now and all the latest news.
Hello, everyone. A fairy godmother just might be hovering over Independence Boulevard today. There's talk of revitalization. With the microphone. Can you hear me better now with this one? A fairy godmother just might be hovering over Independence Boulevard today. There is talk of revitalizing the area by renovating and reopening the old Charlotte Coliseum. A 21-page study by a consultant says that the city ought to put the Coliseum back in business. In fact, the report says that the Metro Charlotte area could easily support both the old and new Coliseums by holding smaller events at the 12,000-seat arena on Independence Boulevard. Meanwhile, many are wondering who'd pay the $4.5 million repair bill on the old place.
I think that that's a substantial amount for renovation, but at the same time, that's what the Coliseum Authority's been telling us all along, that it's a big project to bring the old building back.
The study says the old Coliseum could be used for concerts, indoor soccer and tennis, minor league hockey, and UNCC basketball. Shelley Thomas of Pineville says that her 9-month-old puppy wouldn't hurt anybody. However, Pineville police say the dog was vicious, and they shot the dog when they said that he was ready to attack an officer. Thomas and a group of supporters marched to the Mecklenburg County Courthouse this morning wearing black armbands in memory of Thomas's golden retriever, Huckster, who was shot. Thomas pleaded not guilty to a charge of owning a vicious dog. She wants the police officer who shot her dog to be fired from the force and wants the town of Pineville to do away with the law that allows police to shoot vicious dogs. Mecklenburg County Police are conducting an investigation to determine whether the Pineville policeman's actions were justified. The Charlotte Motor Speedway says it's found a way to turn trash into treasure. The Speedway's planning to add 60,000 more seats over the next 10 years. Right now, though, there's not enough parking space to handle that big increase. So Speedway President Humpy Wheeler says the landfill next door just could be the answer. Wheeler wants to expand the landfill by 600 acres and then to later convert it all to a parking lot.
Since 1974, we've expanded our parking through landfills because the ground out here is so rolling and rocky that it was the most inexpensive way we had of leveling them out. We could have never operated the Speedway economically successful without doing that.
Neighbors, though, are worried about expanding the landfill so close to their homes. They're concerned about their health and their property values. There is concern today that the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system is more interested in integrating schools than integrating classrooms. This week's decision to move some black students from Eastover to Selwyn and Sharon Elementaries has sparked a new debate. Back in 1979, the school board resolved to do a better job of educating black students, but test scores show that even though both black and white students are scoring higher now, white students continue to do better than the blacks.
We can do a lot in terms of having integration in the system, but unless we deal with those quality issues, believe me, we're going to go through another generation of students who just kind of pass through the school system and they're coming out with not the kind of skills they need.
The schools say they'll continue to work on the problem. And coming up, a store in Elizabeth City where you can see money flying through the air.
Some of Hilda Moctezuma's Eckerd customers are hearing impaired, so Hilda took signing classes.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Just so she could speak their language.
Is she allergic to any medicine?
It takes a special kind of person to be an Eckerd pharmacist.
This Eckerd brand pain reliever works as well as this national brand, but this one saves you money. Plus, if you're not happy with the Eckerd brand, we'll replace it with the national brand, free. Eckerd brand. Tested, retested, guaranteed.
What a dreary day. They could use a touch of spring, like my new Spring Breeze scent White Cloud.
Oh, Excuse me?
Wait, come back. I'm just one of the clouds that makes White Cloud.
You make house calls?
Only on special occasions like this. Smell my new Spring Breeze scent, White Cloud.
Smells like spring.
Kinda gets you right here.
White Cloud, now in new Spring Breeze scent.
First harder, then sheer. What's next for the Charlotte Hornets? WBTV's Brian Thompson was first with some very frank answers from George Shinn himself. Some possibilities to increase ticket prices.
We very well might do that.
And to pull the team out of Charlotte and build his own Coliseum in South Carolina.
That is a real alternative. It's
very real.
Not an idle threat.
No, it's a very real.
When it's happening to the Hornets, WBTV is first with the facts. Keep it tuned to WBTV Channel 3.
You won't believe your eyes. It's money flying around a store on a little conveyor belt, the way that stores used to do it back in the old days. Back before there were cashiers, money went straight to the accountant via this flying money machine. Bob West reports from Elizabeth City.
There's been a department store on this downtown Main Street corner in Elizabeth City since 1897. At first appearance, it's still a typical small department store, but there are some surprises.
The first surprise at Chesson's department store is the Lamson 1924 cash carry conveyor, and it still works.
As far as I know, it's the only one left in operation in the United States. That is a completely motorized system. And off it goes. It's been running since 1923.
But just barely.
They have not made parts for it since 1946. That was the last time you could buy parts for the system.
So Brantley makes his own. The system is a favorite with first-time customers.
Most of them come in and go, "What's that?" And they look up and see it go by. And then we explain it to them. And most of them want to sit and watch it run.
In the roaring 20s, this was the cat's meow.
I'm sure it was state-of-the-art. It was their computer. Everything was centrally located. You know, one register or, one person handled all the money back in the 20s. And we continue to do it that way.
Lily Williams has used the system 45 years.
It's a safe way. I wouldn't want to keep the cash up here. I'd rather it go into the office.
So it's more than nostalgia. It's a 1920s system that still has some advantages. From Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Bob West reporting.
Right. I think that's what we need sometimes in this building, to get a hold of you. You're at the AccuWeather Center in the newsroom. We're all so spread out here.
Oh, I thought you meant just to send the money around the building.
There is no money here. Come on.
Oh.
This is volunteer work. We're all here just because we like it.
That's right. That's right. Well, I don't know if I like it today, though, because it is kind of ugly out there. U-G-L-Y. That is how, yeah, that's how you spell it. Okay, let's show you, though, the sky view shot. And it is very dark and gray, and those clouds are hanging around 1,000 feet high. Measured ceiling base at 1,000 feet overcast with visibility only 2 miles out there, with light rain and fog being reported. So it's just not real pretty. I know our Sky 3 chopper is up and around, and I hope that they're safe today because it's visibility not real great out there. Temperature 48 degrees. Humidity 96%, dew point 47 degrees, so we only have a 1 degree dew point depression there. The winds are northeasterly at 13 miles per hour, and the barometer, it's on the rise at 30.28. Your forecast quickly, here's what it looks like. Cloudy skies today with more rain expected throughout the daylight hours, mostly light rain though. High temperature 55 degrees. Let's show you the temperatures around the region. This morning, 48, as we mentioned, here in Charlotte. A bit cooler in the mountain sections, but no big changes until you get down to around the coast where we have very warm air just planted there. 63 in Wilmington, 70 degrees in Charleston. Now, what happens is when we get into an easterly and a northeasterly flow, what happens is we get what's called a cold air damming process. Cold air comes in from the northeast, but instead of just moving on through and making way for the warm air to come back in, it kind of gets curled up and nested right into this valley here on the eastern slopes of the Appalachians. Situation today, and then with the rain falling, it's just not real comfortable out there. Eventually that warm air that you saw off to the southeast will break on through, and even by tomorrow perhaps we could see highs nearing the 70-degree mark. We'll need a little bit of sunshine to do it, but if we get it, watch out, temperatures could really move on up. Here's the way the satellite picture looks right now. Let me step out of the way. Look at all the cloud cover across the whole southeastern U.S., and it becomes heavier and severe as you get across Texas. WBTV Doppler radar, if we have that, we'll show you pretty quickly on the 100-mile range. Most of the rain is pretty light, moving off to the northeast around 30 miles per hour, and that's the way it will be all day today, kind of an off and on situation. Back to the satellite map just for a second, and once again, you can see all the cloud cover, and that has been moving out of the southwest and towards our area. Here's your forecast. Lots of clouds and mostly light rain today, the high 55 degrees. And for tonight, we have more cloudiness. The rain will persist, maybe even some patchy fog thrown in. The low will be about 50. For tomorrow, then, mostly cloudy and not quite as much rain, but when it does rain, it could be heavier showers and thunder showers, the high 68. Your extended outlook for Saturday, look at that high, up to 75 on Sunday, maybe 78, and even on Monday, the high, not too bad, 67, but each day we could have some thunder showers, so we're not going to break out of this very quickly at all. Well, don't forget, our call-3 lines are open until 1 o'clock this afternoon, and if you have any consumer questions, boy, we have a big panel there for you today. That phone number will be 570-WBTV.
Tune in to the youthful sounds of The Boys, coming up next.
For really light biscuits, remember, White Lily is made from only pure soft wheat, so White Lily biscuits turn out very light. White Lily, the light baking flour.
Hi, what you doing?
Guarding the secret to White Lily cornmeal mix.
Everyone knows White Lily is ground from the whole kernel.
Everybody knows?
But syrup!
Cornbread!
White Lily cornmeal mix ground from the whole kernel for full corn flavor.
It all started with a dream.
Keep popping, Sam!
Sam, you're a little fat!
Buster, keep popping, Sam!
Sam, you're a little fat!
Sam's dream gave him the idea for his Breakstone's all-natural light choice with 33% less fat than sour cream and his Breakstone's 98% fat-free cottage cheese. If Sam hadn't dreamt it then, it wouldn't be so delicious now.
Long before a child is ready for school, parents can lay an important foundation for learning to read. In fact, reading aloud to children is the single most important factor in their eventual success in reading. That's why every baby born at Charlotte Memorial is given a golden book to take home with them. Because it's never too early to share the joy of reading with your child. For more information on reading, call this number. Books for Babies, sponsored by the Maternity Center at Charlotte Memorial and WBTV.
That's one of the new groups.
The Boys.
The Boys, and they're in Charlotte.
It's a hot new group. They're known nationally. They have records, and they're playing today live at Selwyn Elementary School.
And Lynn Bradley Love is there to explain what's going on. Lynn?
Thank you very much, CJ and Barbara. Well, Nickelodeon has come in and taken over Selwyn Elementary. And part of the fun that they're performing here today is a concert. They brought in the Boys all the way from California, and they are with us now. I'd like to introduce them to you. This is Hakeem. Taj, next to him, Belial, and
Kyrie, the oldest member in the group. How you doing?
Kyrie. These guys are all brothers, and they've been singing together. Well, Hakeem, how long you been singing together? Let me stand you up here.
About 6 years together. Yeah, we've been
6
singing
years.
About 6 years. I'd say 2 years professionally, a year and a half professionally, but about 6 years we've been singing together. Yeah.
Kyrie, how did you guys get started?
Well, there's a beach in Los Angeles called Venice Beach, and it was Father's Day. And we wanted to take my father out to dinner for Father's Day. Well, we wanted to do something special for him. So the four of us, we didn't have any money, so we went onto the beach and started singing and dancing and tumbling, and we made a little money, and we took him out to dinner. And from there, I guess we kept on coming back to the beach, and finally we just got discovered. And that's basically how we got started.
Now, what do you like, Taj, about singing and performing and doing videos and recording and all the things you do?
I like when the people mob us.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
It shows that they really like us, and it shows that we're doing a good job and pleasing the people.
Belial, is it easy to get along with your brothers?
Well, sometimes, because sometimes they're real nice, sometimes, you know, they're just real mean, and they just, you know, they just make me mad, so I just have to, you know, put them in line.
It just shows that even though they're professional performers, they're still brothers, too. Now, Hakeem, I understand that you guys have big plans for your future. It's going to be more than just singing. What are you interested in doing down the road?
We're interested in writing songs, producing, and a little acting, too.
And now, Kyrie, you've already done a bit of producing, too, haven't you?
Yes, we've produced, we're getting ready to produce a new group on Polygram called Small Change, and we also did some production on a comedian called Sinbad. He's coming out with a rap album. We did a little stuff on him. And we just been, doing a lot of different projects. And I've did a little directing. The video they just played, I directed that one. It's my first video I directed. So hopefully, in the future, I'll be directing a movie or, just trying something different, something new.
I know your parents are very proud of you. Can we request that you do a little a cappella singing for us? Would that be all right?
Yeah, sure. All right. 1, 2, 3. When I think about you, baby, I want you here. I want to put my arms around you and tell you, dear,
that you have touched my heart. I'm so in love, and you're the only girl I'm thinking of. Ooh,
I call my baby on the phone. Got to get a message to let her know that if she ever feels alone, to dial my heart. And if by chance you're not,
oh yeah.
Thank you guys for being here. Have a great concert today, and please stay with us. More Top of the Day coming right up.
Thanks a lot.
We're going to zest up some nutty grain salad, just perfect for the 90s.
Rest assured, no matter what kind of pillow you're looking for, you'll find it at the semi-annual pillow sale at Belk. With all sizes, one price. At Belk, we got you covered.
Need your tax refund now? With WebTax Fast Refund, a refund loan can be in your hands in days. No cash necessary. Fast Refund. WebTax.
I'm Paul Webb. Come see us soon.
If you're not recycling, you're throwing it all away.
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
You get extra flavor, extra fun in extra sugar-free gum.
Extra, the leading sugar-free gum with NutraSweet, gives you extra refreshing flavor that lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra flavor for that extra long play. Extra flavor for that extra long day. When you chew it extra, the extra fresh flavor lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra lasts extra long.
Welcome to the Hungry Fisherman Restaurant. Begin your seafood dining adventure at our salad bar, where you'll find a large selection of salads, fresh fruit, and soup. Then, on to our specialty, the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet, a feast of oysters, shrimp prepared 6 ways, flounder, stuffed crab, broiled fish fillets, catfish, and much, much more. The Hungry Fisherman, serving your family seafood at its very best.
Welcome to the Hungry Fisherman.
She founded one of the most famous food stores in the entire world, the Silver Palette. We've all heard about it so much, and what a pleasure it is to have Sheila Lukens on our show today. And from a food store that is world-renowned, she has now written the New Basics Cookbook, probably a classic, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you, Barbara.
Tell me about going from a food shop to writing this cookbook. Why did you do that?
Well, because in June '88, Julie and I really felt the need to slow down. We had been just running at super fast pace for years, and so we sold the Silver Palette, and we went home and we wrote a cookbook, and we wanted to get back to basics. But when we looked in our pantries and looked around all the markets, we saw you really couldn't go back. The ingredients were so new, everything was so exciting, and so therefore the New Basics.
That's good for all of us who like to change our eating lifestyle and keep ourselves healthier, as well as enjoying good food.
That's
and you
right.
certainly did serve a lot of good food to a lot of people. We said
Thank
food
you.
shop. It was not a restaurant. It is not a restaurant. It is a food store.
A takeout food shop. And so you
And
would
it's still
walk
in
in
existence.
and pick up a whole dinner party and go home and serve 8 people. And hopefully be proud to say you had cooked the food.
Oh, I think that's nice that you let them
That's
get
great.
the credit. Your
That's
food,
right.
and they
That's
got the
best.
credit.
That's the best.
Very successful business. Now let's talk about this recipe. Tell me what
Fine.
you're making.
This is we call it in our new book, a nutty quinoa salad. And quinoa is a grain from South America, one of those new grains you'll find on your supermarket shelves. But you can substitute rice, you can substitute wild rice or barley, any grain. And this has a slightly Asian flavor. So you want to cook the grain and put in raisins at the last 5 minutes of cooking to plump them a bit. And then
Our area would probably like this because it almost has the texture of grits, folks.
Yes, it does.
does.
But you have to remember to let it dry before you mix it all together. Then we're going to put in, well, actually, if I throw them in, do you want to stir?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
sure.
great.
Let
Thank
me
you,
do
Barbara.
that. Yes.
Some mandarin oranges and some peanuts, roasted peanuts. and scallions, chopped up.
Indian flavors, I see.
Well, there you are, but here comes the Asian. A little
I see.
sesame oil. Gonna put some of that in and then stir it all together. And what I'm doing now is just zesting an orange. I mean, I could walk around all day with one of these little tools. Everybody
all love
loves
our
them.
lemon zesters and our orange zesters.
Well, what I'm going to do now is chop up this zest, because it makes these long, thin strands. Chop it up, put it in, because fresh zest, either lemon, orange, or lime, is really nice to add to rice salads because it gives it a bright, fresh flavor.
It does. And the sesame oil, for example, something I can understand why you would include it in your new basics. Those are the kinds of things that we use for stir-fry cooking, so these ingredients can be used for a lot of other dishes if you're thinking about trying this one.
Oh, absolutely. So there, and what we're going to do is just now put in a little chopped fresh mint. So you get all these nice, bright flavors with the oil. Just remember, as I said, after you cook this grain, you need to spread it out on a baking sheet and let it dry a bit so it doesn't get sticky.
Let's take a look on the screen at the ingredients for this, and we'll let you go over this again.
Okay, you want half a cup of golden raisins, 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of water, a 1/4 cup sesame oil, 3 scallions cut very finely on the diagonal, a half a cup of unsalted roasted peanuts, a half a cup of canned mandarin oranges, well drained, 2 tablespoons chopped mint leaves, and 2 teaspoons grated orange zest.
Okay, we will have that on our recipe sheet. You need to have this, I will tell you, on your pantry shelf or your bookshelf or somewhere nearby the kitchen, because you're going to enjoy it a great deal. The New Basics, and it can be found at the Intimate and other area bookstores. So look for the New Basics. Sheila Lukens has something brand new out, and we can enjoy that. Thank you very much. We will. In fact, let's come back in the second half and give them some more good information about the book.
Okay, great.
We'll be back.
Thank you.
Come see some of the finest breeds of horses in the Piedmont. It's at the Ladder Plantation Park Peso Fino Horse Show this Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, 875-1391. Learn to swim or just brush up on swimming techniques. It's for children 3 years to adults at the George Simmons Family YMCA. For registration information, call 536-1714.
Why not take all that common sense, manual dexterity, and calm in the face of chaos, and use it for your new career?
It's cooking, printing.
eCPI will train you for the exciting and rapidly expanding field of computers.
Great. Let's take the whole month off.
Okay.
Call eCPI Computer Institute, a proven leader.
Spring came early this year, and with perfect timing, the Carolina Spring Craft Show, presented by WBTV, March 30th through April 1st. Come see creative collectibles by over 400 artists, designers, and craftsmen. Wonderful wearable arts and inventive authentic works for you, your home, and your family. Today's pleasures, destined to become tomorrow's heirlooms. The Carolina Spring Craft Show at the Charlotte Convention Center, Friday and Saturday, 10 till 8, Sunday, noon till 6.
Friday only, 10 to 10 only. It's the Circuit City 12-hour sale. Friday only. Time counts down with savings in every department, like this 19-inch TV with remote, now a low $217.97. And this Pioneer car stereo with 15 station presets, just $117.97. But hurry, Friday only, time really flies. At the Circuit City 12-hour sale. Friday only, 10 to 10 only.
Life. That's what the Cancer Center at Catawba Memorial Hospital is all about.
Our highly skilled physicians, registered nurses, and technologists use state-of-the-art equipment to provide the best care for cancer patients right here in the Unifor area.
The very best. But we know from experience it takes more than just the right technology to help people. It takes compassion, caring, and commitment. The Cancer Center at Catawba Memorial Hospital. We're right here, helping you make the most of life.
Baby Phases is brought to you by Catawba Memorial Hospital, the best in health.
Well, if that 9-month-old next door is talking circles around your 11-month-old, the experts say, don't worry about it.
No, Dr. Ray Coleman's going to tell us more about babies and talking.
Do you have any idea what they just said? I know I sure don't. But if little Marcy here could talk, she'd tell us. Kids her age can understand us long before they can answer us back in clear English.
You wave bye-bye?
Children who are 8 to 12 months of age understand the meaning of a lot of simple words like no. They can wave bye-bye when you tell them, and chances are they can recognize the names of their sisters and brothers. And of course, they know who Mama and Dada are. While they understand all of this, their own vocabulary might only consist of 3 or 4 words. They'll goo, ga, gurgle, they'll even laugh it up before eventually trying out some new real words. If you make an effort to understand what your little one is saying, she'll be excited and encouraged to try more. Don't be overly corrective if your child substitutes baby talk for words. For instance, calling milk na-na is normal, and the baby will outgrow using it in time. In the meantime, talk directly to the baby, use simple words, and ask your little one lots of questions. All of this will help stimulate your baby's understanding and eventually her vocabulary too. If your baby's not forming words by 10 or 11 months of age, there's really nothing to worry about. All babies are different, and they all want to start talking, and they will on their own time. Right, Marcy? I'm Dr. Ray Coleman. Join me again when we look at other baby phases.
Well, we want to tell you now about the Light Factory. It is a photographic arts and education organization here in Charlotte, and with us right now is Roger Ball, one of the photographers who will be there at a big event this weekend, and Bruce Hensley, who is president of its board of directors. What's about to happen this weekend? We understand a non-profit event.
A very exciting function, CJ. We've got the Light Factory is in the old Park Elevator building, which is a historic setting. The building's 95 years old. And we have about 14 of the area's top commercial photographers that have donated their time. We've got stylists, prop mistresses and masters, and mime, hardened miner is going to come in. And we have taken the top floor of the building and divided it up into about 14 different stalls. And the public is invited to come in and be shot any way you'd like to be. If you're a fisherman, or if you're a business person, or an aspiring model, or a youngster, that's what we're hoping people will do.
I love this, where it says, "We'd just as soon shoot you as look at you." And that says it all.
And as a matter of fact, they have looked at us.
Yes. And let's take a look at what happened yesterday.
Right here in our studio. Here's an example of what you'll be participating in if you go there on Sunday. Barbara and I were the guinea pigs.
That's right. And I'm not real good at still photography, but they made me feel so comfortable, and we had such a good time, and that would be true for you, I'm sure.
And there's John Silla, who's the photographer in this particular situation.
And John will be there tomorrow.
He will be there along
Sunday,
with many others. And you will get a contact sheet made, as we have here. We'll show you in a minute how this turned out, but Barbara's far more photographic than I am.
No, you are
photogenic,
far more
I guess the word is.
than
yes,
I.
photogenic. And there we are together.
Expressions. I'm not going to see your hands, but
maybe we can use these for some future promotions, because they did turn out right well.
Look this way now.
Okay, yeah, right. What will you be doing as a photographer here while we look at this?
Okay. One thing I want to stress is the people that don't have to just come in your Sunday's best and whatever. We'd really like to get some people, if they have a favorite hobby or something, like I said, a skin diver or something. Bring your flippers, your wetsuit. We'll do a full-length shot of you in that.
That was my pool cue you saw there.
That's right.
So it's a good chance to get you done in a way different than you ordinarily would.
And your kids, if you have a girl that's a ballerina, bring her in the ballet outfit. If you've got a 11-year-old that looks good in his torn jeans and skateboard with his Walkman around him, bring those for that special kind of portrait.
Yeah, and by the way, are we going to take a look at our finished product here, or first let's go to the information? This goes on Sunday, April 1st, 11 to 5. And again, the Park Elevator Building, 311 Arlington Avenue, is nearest to what
South
landmark?
Boulevard, right?
Right beside the old Lance Building and across from Pritchard Memorial Church. It's in the 1300 block of South Boulevard.
Good.
We are asking that they try to make reservations because we're filling the slots up pretty quickly.
All right, the point is you just pay $40 for the session, which could be $200 ordinarily.
Oh, easily.
And then you get an 8x10 print, and of course a sheet to choose from for future prints if you want them.
There you are.
Here we
Look
go
at
with
this photogenic man.
Yeah,
young man.
Took 30 years off my life, didn't it? That's a real. Well, we'll have to live with that. And there she is, folks. And I think that's very nice. But coming up, you'll see the finished product as far as the here's like a contact sheet that you can choose from, and Barbara's, and then the grand finale coming up. Ta-da! I think we could use that for something.
Yeah, it was lots of fun doing this too, and the photographers involved in this are the best in Charlotte. It's an opportunity for everybody, and it's an opportunity to do something real nice for the Light Factory too.
Exactly. And of course you deal with a lot of good causes at the Light Factory.
Absolutely, absolutely. Break Magazine was kind enough to do a full story on us this week and had a photograph of all the photographers that will be participating. So for more specific details, people can look into Break Magazine.
I read about it in the Observer too, so
yes,
everybody's been so nice.
Well,
so now
the community's been great, and so have these photographers, and we're most appreciative.
Hope you get a good crowd. And
thanks for taking time with us.
Yeah,
glad to be here.
We had a good time doing that.
Oh, let's go back to Selwyn.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, would you believe the legendary Mr. Wizard is going to be there live today?
That's
Don
right.
Herbert.
Yeah, a lot of good things going on there. We'll take you there. Right now, let's take you over to Lori and find out more about the news.
Hello again, everyone. A 21-year-old Charlotte co-ed has been found dead in her dormitory at the University of South Carolina. Suzanne Margolis was found by her roommate at about 6:50 yesterday morning in Capstone House. The coroner says that the cause of Margolis' death has not been determined. However, he did rule out foul play. The coroner says that Margolis was taking several prescribed medications, including one to help her lose weight. Margolis was a senior political science major and was president of Hillel, the Jewish student organization at USC. A young clerk, a bundle of cash, both missing from a convenience store in southeast Charlotte. Police believe that it's a case of robbery and kidnapping. 19-year-old Gail Hegeman was on duty on Monday night at the Petro Express across from South Park. A taxi driver stopping by for a snack discovered her missing.
Walked into the store. There was no one inside the store. Both cash registers were open, and the money was missing.
Hegeman's car was also gone. Police have put out an all-points bulletin for her. Hegeman's brother said that she just finished a training period and was working alone for the first time. Charlotte Hornets owner George Shinn is trying to stomp out a fire controversy regarding his team and his use of the Coliseum. In the process, though, he's running into more criticism from city leaders and from fans. It all began with a WBTV News interview this week in which Shinn said that he wants to renegotiate his deal with the city. As it is, Shinn pays only $1 per game rent, while the city gets the money from the parking and concessions. So Shinn said that he might build his own Coliseum in York County near his baseball stadium. He's trying to downplay it now.
Please underline the word Charlotte. Our home is the Charlotte Coliseum.
Still, angry fans have besieged local radio stations and even the mayor's office.
They're saying, don't you dare give in to him, let him take his team and go.
Meanwhile, Coliseum Authority Chairman John Maxheim says that the contract will not be reopened. Fans we talked with are upset.
To me, it sounds like he's taking advantage of the situation, trying to get more money out of the fans.
Has it turned you off any? Of him, but not the Hornets, still behind the team.
Shinn's current lease with the Coliseum runs for 3 more years. There's growing concern in Mecklenburg County today about overcrowding at the jail. Police are calling it a dangerous situation. There's been a population explosion at both the main jail and the satellite facility. Some inmates are even having their sentences reduced to ease the overcrowding.
Every day we're having to look at the sentencing operation, which we are not supposed to do, but we're doing that to help facilitate it to get people out.
A jail oversight committee has called for immediate action. Judge James Lanning said that he's upset by the lack of progress, but he did tell us he's planning to stay on the committee. Jail administrators say that a new satellite jail on North Tryon will help relieve the overcrowding at the main jail and house federal prisoners. Here's another good reason to put down the Oreos today and pick up a carrot. A new study says that cutting calories appears to prevent cancer. Doctors say that a low-calorie diet has delayed cancer development and has cut cancer risks in mice. Scientists say that the more calories were restricted while avoiding malnutrition, the longer the lifespan. They say those findings could apply to humans as well. Let's look at the news. Let's check back in with Eric. He's keeping an eye on those clouds.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I'm afraid. Lori, not only a lot of clouds, but we also have a lot of rainfall going on across the southeast. We'll show you Doppler coming up in just a second. But right now, here's what's been happening over the last 12 hours. Lots of clouds have been moving out of the southwest. Now, we have, at low levels of the atmosphere, we have easterly winds coming in from the Atlantic. So there's one moisture source. At about 12,000 feet in the atmosphere, we're tapping Gulf moisture. And then if you want to go up to 18,000, up to 30,000 feet, then we're beginning to tap Pacific moisture. And so we've got moisture coming from every angle and lots of clouds associated with it. Weather gets even rougher as you get out over across Texas. Tornado watch has gone up until 3 p.m. local time there. Another big cluster of thunderstorms around Oklahoma moving into Arkansas. And that associated with a cold front could be moving into the Carolinas later on in the weekend. But for now, we're just looking for widespread light rain. Over the weekend, I still expect to see some rainfall, but more in terms of those scattered showers and thunder showers, not this widespread continuous stuff, which what most of, I think, you are experiencing this afternoon. On the national radar summary, look at all the rain across the eastern seaboard, the eastern coast, the mid-Atlantic area, and then they become stronger back across the lower Mississippi Valley where the parent system is. Patchy activity to the north of that, some snow. They had record monthly snows up in Wyoming. Quick look at Doppler radar will show you once again the rain that's occurring around the Carolinas. Most of it light, most of it to the west of Mecklenburg, but it's already in the city, and it's moving off to the east-northeast at around 30 miles per hour. Here's the way it shapes up. Temperature 48 degrees, our humidity 96%. It hasn't moved really at all today. The dew point 47 degrees, surface winds are northeasterly at 13, and the barometric pressure is rising at 30.28. Your forecast then for today, cloudy, more rain, but most of it, like you saw, will be light. High 55, won't be moving much. For tonight, things aren't changing much either. The rain will persist, patchy fog, the low will only drop about 5 degrees, but then things change tomorrow. If we break, even have a couple of moments of sunshine, we could see temperatures get up towards 70 degrees, but some thunder in the area. And the thunder will be the story throughout the weekend and maybe even into Monday, with warm temperatures. Could get near 80 degrees on Sunday if we have a break of sunshine between the thunder showers. Well, don't forget, coming up on April 22nd, we have Earth Day for you, and we need your support. If we have clerical support, we need people to man booths, and if you'd like to help us out, it's in Freedom Park, and it will be, as we mentioned, on April 22nd. And if you want to help out, that phone number is 334-1990, April 22nd. So give them a call. They would love to have your help. Help save our planet. 570-WBTV is also the phone number for our Call 3 lines. If you have any consumer problems, give them a call as well. They have lots of wonderful information.
Is getting a great deal of federal and local attention at the state level as well as the federal this summer, because Public Law 94-142 is up for refunding. And there are probably 10,000 members of the Parents Support Group, the CHAD, and other ADD support groups.
Very quickly, probably only a yes or a no, but are there adults that might have this disorder and it was not diagnosed as a child, maybe in their jobs having trouble?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a psychologist can certainly uncover it, most likely.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All righty. Tomorrow we're going to be live at the big Revco show at the Convention Center with, how about Jim Palmer, baseball star, and Gail Sayers, the football, all world, all everything guy.
Jeff Conaway.
And Jeff Conaway.
Yeah, you remember him, Kaniki from Greece. That's going to be fun tomorrow. And people can come down and join us. Watch the show. Watch us do what we do.
Also, a major hairstylist, Richard Stein, will be there too. So this is going to be a fun thing for us to be at. And we like a live audience there with us as much as possible.
Certainly. And we want to remind you that another show is going on there, the craft show, too. They're in two separate areas, so it's a very busy time tomorrow at the Convention Center.
We hope to see you there. And incidentally, you saw the pictures earlier from our little photo session with the Light Factory. There was one more picture of Barbara we forgot to show, so we'll see you tomorrow at the Convention Center. And,
why do they do this to me? Why do they do this to him?
Oh, it's your best picture.